Give me 5 minutes of your time and I will share something about life, God, and the Bible. Luke 18 verses 11 to 12. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I'm not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. Luke 18 verses 11 to 12. The Pharisees were a movement who started about 200 years before Jesus. They were a group of people who decided to be faithful to the Old Testament scriptures as much as possible. They read the Old Testament and wanted to keep the law, especially when it came to the practice of worship and temple practices. In fact, I would say that the Pharisees caused a resurgence of the reading of the Old Testament by the time of Jesus. However, the Pharisees feel threatened by Jesus. They feel that they need to compete with Jesus for the attention of the people. Here in this parable by Jesus, we see a Pharisee who looks spiritual on the outside, but on the inside does not look up to God, but to himself. He even looks down on this tax collector next to him. Is it possible to look spiritual on the outside and yet be empty on the inside? It is so easy to fall into the trap of being self-righteous before God. Moreover, there are distractions in our lives that prevent us from seeing God directly. For this Pharisee, it is his self-righteous attitude. For some of us, we might be facing problems in our lives which look insurmountable. It might be a financial matter. It might be an emotional matter. We might have a relational problem with someone we love. Such problems prevent us from seeing the face of Jesus. What are the obstacles that prevent us from approaching God in sincerity and in confidence? Jesus tells his followers to come before God in true humility to seek forgiveness and grace from God. Matthew 23 verse 12. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Here is a story from Rebecca. Last week she had a disagreement with a friend. She finds it difficult to apologize after it. Then she reads Matthew 23 verse 12. Last week, my friend and I had a heated disagreement. At first, I didn't feel like I had anything to apologize for, but I was willing to let it go if my friend apologized. However, as I prayed about the situation, I realized that God was calling me to humble myself and tell my friend that I was sorry. But before I could call her, my friend called and apologized first. Unsettled feelings faded away and our friendship was restored. In Matthew 23, Jesus criticized the teachers of the law and the Pharisees for acting for show. Jesus calls his followers to be humble. It can be hard to know what humility looks like in different contexts. Humility is being willing to apologize. It is quietly doing good deeds without expectation of compensation. It is listening to others with an open heart and mind, knowing there is always more to learn. Let us not exalt ourselves and try to appear better than others. May we instead strive for humility. Only then can we truly love others and act as the hands and feet of Jesus in the world. The tax collector does not beat around the bush with God. He knows that his back is against the wall. The temple is traditionally the place where people come to meet God. He goes to the temple. He humbly bows down before God. He cries and beats his breast. God, have mercy on me, a sinner. God, have mercy on me, a sinner. May we follow in the footsteps of the tax collector, not the Pharisee. Amen.